All
Yay.
right.
All right. Well, welcome. I guess we'll start over.
Now that you've
Now
got to
that
stare at us.
you get to see us, you're welcome. So, like we were saying, this is our first podcast. Nolan told us we should have done a test run first, and we were like, no, we're just going to do it. So,
Winging it.
winging it. But if we don't do it, we'll never start it. So, we had to start somewhere. So, hopefully, we'll get better as time goes on. But I'm Nikki, and this is Carly. This is our podcast. We started sitting around a table with our family for our whole life, just laughing and giggling and telling stories. And we just wanted to do that and invite everyone to come and do that with us. So that's what we're doing. So I guess to tell you a little bit about me, I live in Texas. I have 3 children. My children are pretty much grown. I have one left at home in high school and a grandbaby. Uh, Carly's in Florida. We are about 8.5 years apart. So, Carly, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Carly. I have 3 children myself. We are 8.5 years apart, which makes my sister has been pretty much my caretaker my whole life. So, and if you know us and have been around us, which most of you have, you'll know that she's always opening doors for me. She's always carrying all my stuff. Like this is our role. This is her role for me. Like she's always taking care of me. But it's quite comical because literally anywhere we go, she opens the door for me, and then she gets so mad at herself for doing it. Like, oh, I
I
did it
have all of her
again.
stuff. I'm carrying all of her stuff, and I'm holding the door for her every single time. And but here's the other thing: is Carly's always my plus one. So every time I go somewhere, anytime I was in Florida when we lived in Florida, if you invited me somewhere, Carly was coming with me. So she was always my plus one. So that's kind of how we got into this podcast of should I get my sister into, because she's just with me all the time. We're always together. We're always doing stuff together, getting in trouble together, having fun together. So
Pulling me in to do things I don't want to, like a Botox party that I didn't even want to do.
okay, but so it was a long time ago before Botox parties were a thing. It was kind of a new thing, and we were invited by a friend of ours who did not need Botox. I don't even know why she had the party. Her face was perfect, and she invited us over to this party. My kids were little. I don't even think you had kids,
It was probably perfect because she was getting Botox.
maybe, but
Yeah,
I don't. Did you even have kids at the time? I don't even know if you had kids at the time.
I don't know. I don't remember.
So we go to this party. There was a lot of wine. It was a night out, so we were going to go. We didn't have any money, so we weren't going to get any Botox. We were just going to the party to support our friend. And because she had gotten so many units of Botox for having this party, that she gave them to Carly and I. So I go first. Doctor, not a doctor, not a
Nope.
doctor. I don't even know if he had credentials. I don't even know where the Botox came from. And I
Back
had a
alley stuff.
a lot of wine. I'm just gonna say that it was a lot of wine. And anyway, so he's doing, and I'm like, just do my forehead, just get it so it won't move. And dude decides to put it right here, and I'm like, oh, hey, wait a minute, I'm not a doctor, but I don't think Botox goes there. But I'm like, don't let me be a freak. Do the other side. So he does the other side. Carly goes after me because she's there. So does the same thing to her. Now remember, she had a lot of units of Botox, so we got a lot of Botox, right? I mean, that was a good
Well, I
deal.
mean, it was yeah for first timers like never having it. It was quite a bit.
Yeah, it was. My face didn't move, but the funny thing is that when you put Botox here in your face, it controls your smile. So I don't know if dude thought that I had a gummy smile, but I don't have a gummy smile. Like, see, you don't see my
Apparently,
gums.
he thought he thought we needed to have a straight
Yeah.
style.
So our smiles look like this, and nothing else on our face moved. So we were just look like this the whole time, and both of us look like that. So,
We
so I
couldn't
just
even
walked
look at each
around like
other.
this. Every time I smiled, I looked like this. And and Carly and I only lived 10 minutes away from each other, so we would see each other at Publix and not know we were going to be there. And we'd be on aisle 6, and she'd be walking down, and she would smile at me, and I would smile at her, and we'd start laughing hysterical. So we were just standing there in the aisle like this with tears coming down our face because we were crying so hard at how ridiculous we were. That was what, 3 months? That was the worst mistake we've ever made, but it was
Yeah.
really, it was the most fun mistake we've made.
Well, and we did it right before a girls' trip. So here
Oh,
we
yeah,
are
yeah.
at the girls' trip and look like fools in all the pictures because our face was literally like our smiles
Oh,
were down.
did it? Yeah, it didn't move at all. And that was the same trip that I let my friend do my makeup. She's like, "Oh, let me do your makeup," and I'm like, "Okay, fine." She busts out with
We're,
the airbrush. She airbrushed my face. She made me look like a man. I look like a transvestite.
we're gonna have to post pictures later so people can see what you look like. It was horrible.
It was horrible. And we went
So of
around
course you had
town.
a straight smile, looking like a dude all night,
I look like a
and
transvestite.
we couldn't stop laughing the entire trip. I don't even think we got anything out that whole time. We were laughing at each other.
Well, and then every time we'd walk into a bar, Carly would go, "I used to be one," like and make fun of me that I look like a man. So everywhere we went, I was so self conscious because I felt like a man. My face was all jacked.
And
It
a
was
straight
awful,
smile.
but it was pretty funny. But I've learned my lesson now. Now I'm not. My family will only let me get Botox on the top. I'm not allowed to do anything below my cheeks. So, but but yeah, that's so that's just one example of the things that Carly I've gotten Carly into. But don't she so this is my favorite part about this whole podcast is as we're going through all these stories, you think automatically, oh, should I get my sister into? You think me that I got Carly into. No, no. She gets me into stuff too. This podcast is going to show you that she's the crazy one and I'm not.
No, no, that is so false. No, no,
That is truth. I mean,
no. Okay, so I I go to you to Lowe's, right? We go to Lowe's because Nicole had to get a new door, right? So we're walking through Lowe's. We have one of those big clanging carts. It's so loud. I can't take her anywhere because then we take this cart. We're going to check out. She's making all kind of noise getting there, so everybody already sees us. We get into a line where it's this guy, this old man, and he has like 3 bags of nuts and bolts, and they're
like
sitting there counting
individuals,
them.
individual nuts and bolts.
They're trying to look up the numbers, counting it. And we're like, oh boy, this is gonna take a minute. We should probably move to the next line that's open. So, so my sister takes the cart, turns it in the aisle that has all of the displays and all the drinks and everything, or the candy and all the chips on the displays, turns the cart, gets it stuck, and making all kinds of
Oh,
noise, knocks
wedged,
everything off the shelf.
totally wedged between the shelves. Like
Now the
little
people,
markers falling off, those little tape measures falling off. Oh, but ask Carly if she knows. No, no, because where was Carly? She ran. She ran away and left me wedged
I'm out,
between
I'm
the
out.
aisles. So now I can't get this stupid cart up. I had to push the whole aisle out of the way to get the door unwedged, to get this stupid cart out. It was so loud. The guy that was his screws looked at me like I was the biggest asshole in the world. And I was
He's
just trying
like,
to be nice.
asshole.
I was trying to be nice and not pressure him. And here I've got the whole store wrecked up. Now the other line is full. It's got a whole line in it.
Whole line. There's like five deep, right?
Yeah.
We're trying to get out. Well, then we get in the line and we're waiting and waiting. We're like, okay, we're just gonna be patient. This guy's still checking out his nuts and bolts. So we're sitting there waiting. Well, Ted was out shopping around Lowe's, and he walks up and he's like, "What are you guys doing in this line? Why don't you come over here? There's nobody over here." And takes the cart and puts us back in the line to go back in their line.
like,
We were like, oh,
hi,
okay.
it's me again. It's me again. Oh my gosh, that
Okay.
was awful. That was awful. But
That was
Carly
so.
runs away from me all the time. She leaves me high and dry. You would think with all the things I do for her, she would have my back. She does not have my back. You leave me all the time.
I had your back at McDonald's, kinda.
Did you? Did you have my back
Maybe.
at McDonald's?
So here we are. Let's set it up because I have no kids. Nicole has 3. We're in a minivan, in her minivan. I'm sitting shotgun. She's driving. We're going through McDonald's to go get some chicken nuggets for the kids. We just left the beach or whatever.
Yeah, we left the beach and we were going to grab a snack on the way home. And this woman backing out of her spot, and I see her, so I stop to give her some space so she doesn't hit me. And then, go ahead.
She starts, you can
I'm
see
gonna
her
out
in the
myself.
car yelling at us, like yelling at Nicole. She puts my window down and is yelling at this chick. She's like, "What now? What do you gotta say now? I got the window down," and I'm like, "Nicole, stop! Put the
I'm
window
like,
up. What
you
are
think because I'm in a minivan, I won't kick your ass? Like, talk to me now. I can hear you.
I can hear you now. What do you got to say?" Yelling
I've
over
got a
me.
4-year-old in the van, a 3-year-old.
Mortified, like thinking I'm about to fight in the McDonald's parking lot out of a minivan. I'm gonna have to get out of the minivan and fight this chick because of my sister.
Yeah, I'm not the one. Carly, well, if you ask our mother, she will tell you that Carly is more compassionate than I am. Which might be true, but I still have feelings. But I'm not the one who's gonna back down. Carly will talk me out of it, and she'll tell me that I'm broken and I can't fight. But I'm not the one who's gonna back down from a fight. But Carly's talked some sense into me a few times.
Few.
Yep, a few.
Or like the time when we went to Walgreens and and okay, my big sister, right? We're grown. We are grown women.
You're pregnant.
I was pregnant. She's checking out in front of me at Walgreens. She goes, "Carly, I'll meet you outside. I gotta go return this red box."
No,
I was like,
you
"All right."
went to you. Oh, I went to
No,
return the red
we
box.
went to
Yeah.
return the red box. So I'm checking out. I'm like, "All right, I'll meet you out there in a minute." So Nicole walks out the door, and the lady at the register, she's this older woman. She leans forward and she goes, "Now that mom's gone, you want to buy this last pack of gum?"
No.
I was like, "That's not my mom, and I don't want your gum." And she's like, "Oh, okay." Ding, ding. So I check out and I tell Nicole, she's like, "I'm going in there. Oh, that's it. I'm going in there. I'm going in there." "No, we are leaving. You are not going in there. Let's go."
Oh, I know what we forgot to mention. So, okay, so I'm not the one you put on speakerphone ever. Like I'm never gonna be the one you put on speakerphone. I curse a little.
My kids always have to go, "And Nicole, you're on speakerphone."
So, but I'm teaching them how to use curse words the right way, so they don't look like idiots when they do use them. So I'm not the one you put on speaker ever. And we decided when we were talking about the podcast how we were gonna kind of do it. And what we figured is if our kids can listen to it, then we're fine with it. But I should do a little like public announcement that just because our kids are good with it doesn't mean yours are. So our kids,
This is a real deal. And listen, we curse a little. Little. Okay.
a little. I mean,
It gets the point across better, right?
sometimes it happens. Well, oh, and another thing, we have a condition.
Yes.
It's kind of a big deal.
It's a real condition.
It's a real condition.
And it's gotten us into a lot of trouble. But people need to know.
Okay, so here's the thing. Any kind of human reaction, sad, nervous, inappropriate, anything that's like
Stressful, happy.
We're going to giggle. And it's bad. It's bad. Because we've done it at funerals. We've done it in church. Oh, gosh. It's really bad. And you can't explain that to somebody while you're giggling.
No. And when they're telling you like a sad story at a dinner party and you can't do anything but cry, like all you're doing is crying, but we cry. We laugh through our cry. So
Yeah.
it
So it looks
makes
like we're
us look like
hysterically laughing at you.
complete jerks. Like we totally look like jerks.
Yeah. Oh,
But we can't help it.
what? But we do find inappropriate things very funny.
Yes.
That's true. So we are going to be inappropriate, and we are going to offend people. So I'm sorry if you're easily offended. It's probably not the place for you. But
Yes,
then again, we
because
wouldn't be friends anyway because you already know that.
yeah. And it's gonna be a lot of like real life things. So it may hurt some feelings, may not, but listen.
Wait. I have a disclaimer. I have a disclaimer. Let me read
Oh,
it so I
okay,
don't get
okay.
it wrong. Okay. All right. We promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but something really close to the truth, and we'll change the names to keep the innocent.
Yes.
Is that fair?
And
That's fair. And I
yes.
know only half of you are watching this, so you know we don't out you tonight.
I know. They totally are. They're like, "Ooh, we better pay attention. Make sure she don't use our name, or
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to show her."
Mm-hmm. They didn't even log in and chat with their real name. That's how nervous they are.
We got fake names.
The chat's not even show their names. I know who you are. I see you. I see you. I know. Don't worry.
Uh,
Somebody said anyone highly offended isn't going to hang out with you in the first place. That is very true. That is very true
very
because
true.
I mean, listen, we're going to talk about some crazy stuff. So, there was another time you left me. It
Which
was in
one?
Costco. Mm-hmm.
Dude, you put me in the most uncomfortable situation. Like I can't. I get so uncomfortable. I have to run.
But you left me there. I was
You can't
stuck.
pin people up with carts. Like you can't pin people to the to the to the displays with carts. Like that's awkward.
Okay, so we're in Costco. Nate's a baby. He's in the car seat, baby, and he was getting fussy, so I was carrying him. Meanwhile, Carly and I loaded the whole cart with groceries, so you couldn't even get back to the baby seat. It was like crap all over it. And of course, we always go into the furniture and look at it. So we're in the furniture section, and I'm looking over, and I have the baby, and I'm trying to turn my cart with my one hand, and it won't go. I'm just stuck. And I'm like, damn, what in my cart? What am I stuck on? And I'm just pushing it, pushing it, pushing it. And I look up, and there's a man, and he is pushed against the box, a furniture box, his whole body. And my cart is behind him like this, just pushing him into the box. I couldn't get the cart out. I was wedged onto him. I had wedged myself onto him. He was in so much shock. He didn't know what to say. Where's Carly? Gone. She gone. She ran away. Left me there. I have a baby, an infant in my hand. I have a grown man pinned against a box, and Carly's gone. I can't even get the cart off the man. He could not even say anything. He was in so much shock, like this cannot be happening. It was
I can't do
awful.
it. I can't. I can't
Yeah,
say it when you're making me feel so awkward.
it is pretty awkward.
Speaking of awkward, I feel like you should tell the story about a friend of yours with the coming out the
Really, first one? Should we go
all
out
right.
with the first
Okay,
one?
okay.
Really, you want to talk about awkward? I know. You know it. I know a
No,
place
you
where
know
you.
what, girl? Here's awkward. When you're walking down the street with your sister on a college tour, and there's little Girl Scouts on the side, and they're just all so sweet and innocent, trying to sell their Girl Scout cookies. And Nicole sees them. She goes, "Oh hell no!" She gets her phone. She goes, "Watch this." And she gets on her phone and she's like, as we're walking by, she goes, as they're like, "Oh, you want to buy some Girl Scout cookies?" She's like, and she keeps walking and leaves me with all these little Girl Scouts. And of course, what do I say? "Oh, sorry, I don't have any cash."
That
And they're
little
like,
girl
"Oh,
busts
it's
out
okay.
with,
We
we
take
take Venmo.
Venmo and Cash App." And like, "Oh, no thanks." And she's gone, laughing hysterically on
It
her
works.
phone.
It works every time. I don't even, and you
I'm
fall
not
for
gonna
it
lie,
every
I've
time.
started doing that.
It
I'm
it
not gonna lie.
works. It works. I mean, it's so hard to say no to those cute little faces,
It
but
really
they
is.
know they know what they're doing.
I know. They pull the heartstrings.
They definitely know what they're doing. So
So Go ahead.
Okay. So I you don't even know what I'm gonna talk about.
Oh, I'm
But
scared. Don't.
so Carly Carly gets embarrassed way easier than I do. And it may be because I'm a little bit better at taking some hate. I've taken some hate, and it's fine. I'm okay with that. I have thick skin. But so we went again. The kids were little. I had a great coupon for some personal
Oh,
lube.
oh, mind you, we go and do everything together. Like we're always together. This is before I had kids. I was always with her. Go ahead.
So you weren't with me the first time when I was there. So I get this coupon, and I'm doing the big grocery shopping. So it's like $400 worth of groceries, right? And I'm there, and I have all the groceries on, and I get all the coupons, and I ring my card, and it doesn't go through. Insufficient funds, and I'm like, there's no way. There's none of money in there. There's definitely. So I'm like, take off the bread, and the kid, this poor kid, I can't. Do you remember his name? Was it like Brian or Cody or something? It was something.
I don't know.
Anyway,
Cody.
so he goes to grab the lube, and I'm like, no, not that. Grab the bread. And so, so we go through, and we take.
And he's like, okay.
So we go through all this stuff, and we get, I'm like, no, take the milk. We don't need that. Take the. And every time he's going to grab the lube, and then he goes to grab the wine. I'm like, no, not the wine. No, not that. Take the
Peanut
cereal.
butter. Take the peanut butter.
Take the peanut butter. So we get down to like 4 things. And one of them is lube, and one of them was the wine. And I don't remember what the other 2 were. So they have to take all the coupons off with this because, it's all this stuff is gone now. So the computer gets locked up. They have to call the manager over the loudspeaker to come to the register to fix it. Our pastor's son comes in while this is all going on. And I mean, it was total chaos, right? This poor kid was just mortified. I mean, he was so embarrassed. So I leave with my 4 things. Well, I go home. Something had gone through the account. No big deal. I got my money back. So I had to go back and get my groceries because we were out of groceries. Apparently, we were out of everything. So Carly's with me, and I get all the same groceries back. And I told her what happened, and she's like, we'd never go back. I'd never go back to this Publix again. I would never come back. And I'm like,
Never.
no, we're going. And we went through his line. We waited for him.
But she makes it so awkward because she's like, there's 3 other lines that are open, but she wants to go through Cody's line to make sure Cody knows that she has the money to buy her groceries that she had to take off for her lube. So no, she's like, no, we're gonna wait 4 deep in Cody's line. I'm like, oh, nobody is in these lines. Let's go. No.
Nope, we're waiting. And we went through his line, and he was so nervous. He was like, beep, beep. He's like, oh, you keep going? I'm like, yeah, keep going. And I mean, he was so slow. And I'm like, oh, Carly, I really hope we have the money today. I really hope we have it. He was so nervous. We shopped in that dude's line every time. And Carly's like, I'll never come back.
She walks by and like, Cody, like calling him. I'm like, Nicole, stop.
I'm coming. I'll see you in a minute.
Yeah, I'll be there in a minute. I'm almost done.
That poor kid. He was like hated every time I came in. He was awful.
I feel like we spent a lot of time at Publix, and a lot of things happened at Publix for us. Like when Nate was little, and you used to whatever kid we had would act a fool, and there was a woman.
Something happened.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, you're back. Oh.
Yeah, there was Publix. Yeah, Publix is kind of a good place for us. Like, so I know what you're talking about. We were in the checkout line, and it was only Emily and Logan. They were acting a fool, and those are like the times where you can't tell them you're getting a spanking for what you did at the store. So they had to get a spanking in the store. And yes, I spank my kids, and they're grown, and they're perfect human beings, so whatever. But
Yeah.
So I'm going to spank them, and the woman in front of me gawks at me. Oh. And I'm like, oh, hell no. Like, why would you? It's like poking the bear. I'm about to whoop my kids in the public checkout line, and you're gonna poke me. So I screamed at the woman. I said, "Somebody's gonna spank it today. Do you want it to be you?" That lady said, "Beep, beep, beep, beep." I've never been checked out so quick in Publix.
Your voodoo.
Oh gosh. I think we should talk about some stuff you got into. I didn't remember this, but Carly brought it up the other day. Go ahead. You can embarrass me.
Which one? The voodoo? What did you do though? Like, it was one of the kids.
Yeah, they were
And
acting a
then,
fool. They
and
threw themselves down the floor, and I was ignoring them because I'm not going to play that game. And
some lady
she
gave
judged
you,
me. Yeah,
yeah.
she like said something, and so I I started dancing.
Like you were putting voodoo on her.
She just ran out of the aisle.
I wish you had a rabbit's foot to throw at her. Like
Oh
that
my!
would have made it
Or those chicken
10 times
feet.
better.
I was
Yeah.
gonna get one of those little
Look
chicken
at
feet.
that.
Throw it at her.
Oh, Publix has been fun.
But now I don't judge parents when their kids act a fool. I'm like,
Mm-mm.
oh, I feel you. I'm like, you need a hug. You need a hug because I feel like you need a hug because I know that feeling.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, we're getting close to our time. I know
yeah.
we started late, but so yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be fun. I think we're gonna have a good time telling stories. We didn't even touch the surface yet.
Didn't even touch the surface. There's a
No,
lot of.
so many things. I mean, it's just the weirdest thing how people feel very comfortable coming up to us and doing things. I mean, like just the strangest things, and I'm like, how do people even like? How are you okay with that? Like
How
just
they
the
come up to
things,
you and tell you their life stories out of nowhere.
or they do random shit that you're like, why?
Like
What?
Ted went through the checkout the other day and was like, this random lady at Publix. She was like, oh yeah, I'm really tired today. And he's like, oh yeah, me too. I'm pretty tired. She's like, yeah, it's probably because I was having nightmares all night because I'm getting a divorce because my husband left me after 20 years and he told me he didn't love me anymore and he's leaving me. And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. So then the next day, Ted and I went to the same Publix and she was there. And he's like, Carly, she's here. She's here. Let's go. Make it quick. Don't make eye contact, right? So we think we're getting out without her seeing us. And she comes over and she goes, did you guys see the crash yesterday? And we're like, no, what are you talking about? She's like, yeah, motorcyclist in a dump truck. And we're like, oh, okay. Thanks for telling us. Like, we're ding, ding. Like, let me just get out of here. Weird things happen. Why?
I don't know. People come and tell me all the time weird stuff, like weird stuff, and I guess I just have that like face that says,
Come talk to me.
tell me your world. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although somebody the other day said to me, they said, "Oh, how old are your grandkids?" I was like, how do you know I have grandkids?" I was like, that's not a question you just ask. How about we start with my kids and then go to grandkids?
You're gonna tell me I look pregnant too? What?
Yeah, got your grandkids. And I'm like, okay, he's 18 months, but shut up.
It's funny.
Oh my gosh. Remember the garage sale we had and that lady came?
Yes.
Oh
I
man.
was just gonna say it's funny that you can say that now because before you couldn't and everybody thought it was
Yeah, Nate, they always thought Nate was my grandson, hence why I'm having Botox. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not above it. But yeah, that lady came. She stalked me at all the garage sales. Remember she cut her hair like me? And then she came to our house and she was asking about Nate being my grandson. And I hid inside and I wouldn't come back out.
You sell her the books. I remember you telling me that. You sell her the books because she was going through all the books.
Oh my gosh. And they weren't even our books.
No, the neighbor asked us to sell them, and they were
Yes,
like
and we
crazy
didn't
books.
look at them. Everybody kept looking at us like, "Oh my gosh, these are your books." I don't. We never even looked and see what those books were. They were probably
Mm-mm.
some weird books. They had to have been weird because every time anybody went to that box, they would look at us like we were crazy. Like,
Well, no, we went back and looked, and it was like really like risque, like
oh, I don't
love
remember.
stories and stuff. Yeah, because we were like, oh, we probably should have looked at those, and then we
No,
did later, and we're like,
I was
well,
hiding inside.
you sell her the book.
Yeah, I'm not going. I'm not going on that. No way. No
Crazy
way.
lady.
I'm not gonna be a part of that lady. She was crazy. All right, hold on. Let's go. Let's go to the chat real quick and see if anybody has any questions. Nope, we're good. We're good.
All
Everybody
right,
just
so
saying hi.
we are going to be doing this on Sunday nights.
Sunday nights, 7 Central, 8 8 p.m. Eastern. I may have messed up the times, and now we're locked in.
It's fine. So if you hear my kids yelling in the background, that's why. It's fine.
I won't hear
So
my
yeah,
kids, but
Sundays at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Nikki and Carly.
so next week I think we're gonna do. What did we say we're gonna do? What's the topic for next week?
I'm not in agreement with that one. We're gonna have to discuss this.
All right, so it may be we're not adults because we've gotten into a few things where we were not adults and we should have been the adult in the room and we were not. But and then we plan on having some people come on because I mean we have enough stories just with us, but we definitely have some more with others that we don't want to out without them.
Hmm.
You know who
Yeah,
you are.
yeah. All
So
right. Well, it's been real. It's been fun, but most of all, it's been real fun.
yeah, maybe next time we'll start at 7 and yeah, it was so weird. It was like we had everything working, everything was perfect, and we hit record and everything just went straight to shit. Like no audio. The computer shut down.
So you got to look at our faces for 5 minutes. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, like literally the whole computer just shut down. Like we had to shut it down, and it was everything was fine. I mean, we were on here for what 30 minutes before we even pushed record, and then everything just went straight down.
Yeah.
So
So bear with us. We're learning.
mhm,
It's a learning curve,
we're
but it'll
learning.
be fun. More
We'll
stories
get
to come.
we'll get better as we go.
All
Well,
right.
one of us will. I'm just kidding.
You got jokes. Love you, sister.
Love you. I'll
Bye.
talk to you later. Bye. Jake.
We need